So, last I left off, I was talking about that nagging feeling. And in order to really hear that nagging feeling, I had to push my mother away. So, about 2.5 years ago, back in December of 2022, we had a fallout, and I stopped talking to her. Very little communication was occurring. I had to push her out of my life so I can focus on myself better and my life better. And once that happened, I could hear that nagging. It was fairly intense, and my search sort of picked up. And I was kind of alone in my search at first, and this is mostly due to my mother's doing, isolating me from everybody and trying to make me codependent on her. But I'm not a very codependent person whatsoever. I'm extremely independent and go about doing my things. But when it comes to talking to somebody, I would always go talking to her. And so without her in the picture to talk to, it was just pretty much myself and no one else around because of the isolation that was brought into my world. Having a helicopter mother, a possessed helicopter mother, in fact. So now that she was out of the way, I started to open up to rekindling old relationships with family members that I was told not to speak to. And so once I started speaking to them, I was able to put pieces together that I just couldn't put together on my own. That nagging feeling led to me trying to search for my family, my father and my, siblings on my father's side. I was aware that I had some brothers, but I didn't really have any details or anything. Come to find out, I don't just have brothers, I have sisters too. And so my cousin assisted me in my search, and so with one of my aunts, my aunt and her daughter, basically. And we were scouring the internet, looking through social media, mostly Googling, asking any remaining family members in the Middle East, and just trying to see if we can figure something out. Eventually, after some time, it wasn't until, May 30th of 2024 that I came across one of my brothers. And it was actually my cousin who came across a picture in social media. If not for my aunt reminding me of the last name, my father's family name, I probably would have never thought to look for or use that name to look for my family. And by using that name, I was able to, or my cousin was able to, find a picture of my dad. And I went ahead and messaged the individual who was posting this picture. And they responded back by telling me, hello, sister, you finally found us. And so at that point, I started having a conversation with my brother, and then soon after that, my other siblings. So at this point, I am the eldest of 7 children total. 3 brothers, 3 sisters, 5 from my father's side and 1 from my mother's side. And, we are trying to catch up. They shared with me that my father had already passed 13 years prior. Now it's going on 14 years. And when I was when I was 17, 18 years old, I explained to him that I was looking for him, and he wasn't in Kuwait anymore. Once the war broke out, so I assumed he was dead. But they informed me that he wasn't dead. He had moved to Syria, and there he continued on doing his, living his life and stuff until he got older. At the age of 63, he died of kidney failure. And this is kind of pivotal because the kidney issue does come up later, and by my mother also, which is kind of interesting because it just tells me that she was aware of him being alive and what caused his death. But moving on. This, how do I want to say this? I pulled up a chart of when my brother responded to my question inquiring if if he was related to me by any chance. And the chart revealed something very interesting. It showed a little bit of a family reunion occurring at that particular time, which I found to be interesting. And I also pulled up a chart of when my father had passed away on August 8th of 2011 in the morning. And the moon at that time happened to be in Scorpio, which I find to be very interesting also. I found the correlation in regards to that moon being in Scorpio on many occasions when I pull up charts. And I feel that for whatever reason that this could be a sign of, foul play in some way. From what I can tell, every time I see this particular sign in a chart, this moon being in Scorpio. Not that anything's wrong with moon in Scorpio. My moon is in Scorpio. But it just, when reading the chart, it just kind of indicates to me a sense of something's amiss. So, I think I'll stop here and pick up along the way. But I'm going to post the charts and just take a look and tell me what you think. Thanks.